This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
First tonight, a weather alert. Extreme cold and strong winds. A wind chill advisory just went into effect. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. Another cold weekend, Scott.
It is going to be a cold weekend this weekend for sure. We have temperatures across the area that have dropped back into the single digits tonight. In some cases, all of us are going to get there before long. And yes, that wind chill advisory just went in effect for St. Louis going through tonight. So you got to do what these folks that are doing out here at Hidden Valley. Layer, 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 and let's limit our exposed skin. Now, it's not as bad now as it will be later tonight and very early tomorrow morning. It's 8 in Warrenton and Litchfield, 7 in Pittsfield, Chesterfield, St. Charles at 10, Scott Air Force Base at 13, Farmington right now is 15. Our wind chills haven't hit advisory criteria yet, but they are dropping below 0 in St. Louis. And with the gusty winds overnight tonight, in the worst case scenario, it'll be near 20 to 25 degrees below 0, feeling like that to exposed skin, which means you end up with about 30 minutes before you would get frostbite. So just keep that in mind. Traffic, though, tonight rolling along pretty well on our area roads. It is cold as we have those gusty winds into early Saturday. The wind chills could be as low as -20 early tomorrow morning. But after a relatively quiet weekend, we may have a bit of ice Monday. More on that, Kelly, in a few minutes.
All right. See you then, Scott. And, you can always get the Weather First forecast sent straight to your phone anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355, and we'll be happy to send you a link. Now to a developing news in St. Charles County, where 2 children were killed today in a house fire. This happened this morning in Defiance. That is where 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer has been throughout the day. She is live in Defiance with this heartbreaking story.
Well, Kelly, in about an hour, community members will gather here at Good News Brewing Company for a vigil for this family who lost 2 of their children to that house fire earlier this morning. And video from a St. Charles County Council member, Joe Brazil, shows how intense the flames were coming out of that home this morning. The St. Charles County Police Department was the first agency to respond after getting a call that 2 children were likely trapped inside of that home. Later, multiple fire departments responded and went in through a window trying to find the 2 children, but the flames were too strong. Eventually, once the fire was put out, the young children were found dead. Tonight, a family member has identified those children as 6-year-old Jamison Kaiser and 4-year-old Julian Kaiser. 2 adults were also inside, and both were able to escape. Councilmember Brazil rushed to the scene to see what he could do to help.
I got down here. There was 1 policeman down here at the time, and it was totally chaotic. I sent you the video. It was a huge fire. The trucks were on fire, and I didn't know the kids were in the house still. I couldn't see, though. There's so much smoke, and then I saw the grandfather, Vern, and he was full of soot, and told me that the kids are still in the house. So, yeah, it's terrible.
Now, the cause of this fire is still under investigation. However, the community is rallying around this family, and they have started a GoFundMe page. And right now, that has thousands of donations already. If you're interested in helping out this family, you can head to our website, ksdk.com, for more information. Reporting live here in Defiance, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
And while fighting an apartment fire this morning, St. Louis City fire crews found the body of a man in his kitchen. 5 on your side's Tracy Henson was on the scene and has more on what happened.
It appears to be accidental in nature. The occupant may have been cooking.
Family members told me the man who died is William Green, and he had only lived in the apartment on North Broadway for about a year.
It was heated, so this isn't a case of someone using the stove to heat the space. That doesn't appear to be apparent. Both utilities were out to actually cut power and natural gas to the unit, so that's not the case here.
Fire crews were not able to find working smoke alarms in the apartment.
We did not hear any smoke alarms activated when we arrived on scene, and we haven't been able to locate any smoke alarms, functioning or non-functioning, as of this interview.
If you need a smoke alarm, St. Louis City Fire can help.
If you need a smoke alarm and you live in the city of St. Louis, please call us. We'll come out and install them. They're free of charge. If you don't live in the city, contact your local fire department or the American Red Cross, and it's something that we can easily get taken care of for you.
Some of the apartments here do have boarded up windows. I'm told that was not a result from any firefighting action here. Those apartments were boarded up before the fire started.
That has nothing to do with today. that is the normal state of affairs. I'm not certain why they're boarded up. It could be a vacant unit, and maybe the owner wants to keep folks out. I'm not sure.
The bomb and arson squad is investigating, which is standard procedure for any fire-related death. Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.
And the fire was contained to the single unit, so other people who live there were not evacuated and are safe to remain in the building tonight. A St. Louis woman is continuing her mission to strengthen cyberstalking laws in Missouri. Angela was a victim of convicted stalker Robert Merkel, who harassed multiple women across the country. She's been trying for years, along with State Senator Tracy McCreary, to get a cyberstalking bill passed in Missouri. It would create a task force of 15 people to study how police officers can better investigate cases and treat women.
It will bring together a committee of professionals to assess not just issues and concerns here in St. Louis, but all over the state of Missouri. That means big cities and little towns will get the same attention for their needs, helping not just the police, but also attorneys and victim advocates.
To read a full copy of the bill or learn how you can get involved in supporting the legislation, check out this story in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. St. Louis leaders are bracing for a big hole in the city budget. A pending court case and ongoing debate in Jefferson City could axe the city's 1% earnings tax, which makes up a huge chunk of city taxes. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, went to City Hall to see if budget leaders have a backup plan, Mark.
Yeah, Kelly, think of it like a pandemic hangover or long COVID for the city budget. COVID-19 upended government finances all over the country. And while, yes, St. Louis cashed in on $500 million in short-term federal relief, the surge in remote work put a long-term glaring spotlight on the city's 1% earnings tax.
I am extremely concerned.
Members of the St. Louis Budget Committee are bracing for bad news from a costly court ruling.
It's incredibly urgent. I mean, the worst case scenario is it's $50 million a year for a few years.
An appeals court could uphold a judge's ruling that the city must pay remote workers back taxes.
I mean, this would truly devastate our ability to deliver services to our citizens.
And that's not all. With the pandemic-era earnings tax facing scrutiny in courts, Jefferson City Republicans filed bills to permanently end it for workers who live outside city limits.
I don't think that earnings tax is actually the right way to help the city thrive.
Board of Alderman President Megan Green says the GOP has a bigger end game in mind to drive government services like trash or water into the hands of private companies.
The goal is to, it's called starve the beast, to force privatization. And so you see a lot of these Republican-led initiatives are designed to impoverish cities so that it forces the privatization of our assets and services.
Whether that plan passes muster at the State House, city leaders expect remote workers to prevail in the courthouse.
I think taxpayers have a legitimate grievance here.
Considering the earnings tax makes up for a third of the city budget, what will they do to fill such a massive budget hole?
We do need a backup plan.
But 1 year after that initial court ruling, there's still no immediate plan in place. And if the city doesn't raise taxes, Green says it may have to make significant cuts.
The largest line item in the city's budget is the police department. And so it is very likely that there would have to be massive cuts to public safety and the police department in general should a third of our budget suddenly go away.
The city's budget director is working up a number of alternative proposals, but we haven't seen them yet, and none of them are likely to address that larger problem, bringing enough foot traffic back downtown to make up lost ground from all those remote workers who left. And recent data suggests only about 6 in 10 downtown jobs have returned after the pandemic.
Coming up, an update on the investigation into the death of a Potosi woman. The timeline released today. Plus, one man thought his car was headed to the scrap heap. Instead, it got a second life on another continent.